the moment you start accepting yourself, oh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Saba, and today I'm going to be telling you about what happened after I got my limb amputated. After my amputation, what happened? So after I got my leg amputated, it's hurt and it healed. Eventually it healed, and pending the time, I was moving around with crutches and sometimes a walker, and just so I don't stay in one place, because I was a child and I was supposed to be active. So I moved around with crutches and walker, and eventually it healed after some months. Then I was supposed to start using a prosthesis, but my knee was stiff. Yes, because I wasn't using my knee for a long time. I was on admission for a long time, on external fixator for a long time. So my left knee was not working, and it got stiff. It got stiff, and I couldn't get a prosthesis right away because I would need a knee to carry the prosthesis. But I don't know if you understand me. I'm a below knee amputee, and I need my knee to carry the prosthesis so I'll be able to walk normally. So I had to get a physiotherapy. So the physiotherapy helped me to mobilize my knee, and eventually became a little mobile. Let's just say halfway. Then when I started using the prosthesis, and I was constantly using the STUMP, then it became really mobile. After the healing and the physiotherapy and everything, I eventually got my first prosthesis, and that was like a year after the amputation. So I'd say I had my accident at 4, then I got the amputation at 5, then I started using prosthesis at 6. Yes, so I started with a wooden prosthesis. The wooden prosthesis didn't have a toe. It just has a shape of a foot without a toe. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of this, so I'm sorry, I won't be able to show you that. So that was what I started with, and I was happy that I was finally out of the hospital and I could walk around normally and all that. But pending the time I got the prosthesis, I was in school. I was homeschooled after my accident for a year by my mother. Shout out to my mother. I was homeschooled for a year by my mom, and eventually after the amputation and I was using crutches, I was able to start school. I started school with the crutches, and I was going to school with my crutches. And eventually, after the physiotherapy and all, I started using prosthesis. Then I used prosthesis. So I thought everything was over. I thought all the surgeries and being on the bed for so long was over. But I got the shock of my life. That was when my bones started piercing through my skin. Like, this is the stump, and this is where, this was the part that was amputated. This was the part, and I have my tibia and fibula piercing through, so I wouldn't be able to wear my prosthesis, and it's very painful. So I'll have to go to get surgery to cut the bones, the excess bones that are coming out of the skin. I have to cut them off, then wait for the stump to heal again before I could start using prosthesis. And it was such an experience because I was in school, I was a child, so the teachers will have to send lesson notes, or during the exam period, sometimes it happens during the exam period, they'll have to come to my house and I'll have to do exam at home alone. with my teachers. Yes, so I'll have to do exam at home alone, and well, let's just say I learned to be independent very early in life. So that was how I was doing it for up to like 4 years before I eventually stopped going for those surgeries, before the bone stopped piercing through my skin. So I had my accident 2002, and I had surgery multiple times, almost every year, till 2008. 2008 was when I stopped going for surgery, and I was happy when the second year, like 2009, I don't have to go for surgery because the bones did not pierce through my skin this year. Then 2010, nothing, and I was like, oh, I'm done with surgeries. It was amazing. Like, not having to go for surgeries again. I was so happy, and oh my god, I was just so happy. I told you I started with a wooden prosthesis, then I moved to, and wooden prostheses are so heavy. I did not mention that they are so heavy. After that, I started using prosthesis that has a suspension lock. That means it doesn't use a belt, and it has carbon fiber foot, so I could walk a longer distance more comfortably. I could walk a longer distance with a lot of ease, because the other prostheses were not very flexible and they were heavy, and it's just not very comfortable to walk with. It's just to move around a little bit, not to actually move around. So the last prosthesis I got that I showed you like 2 videos ago was a carbon fiber foot with a shuttle lock. So that was quite easier to work with compared to the other ones. This is a note to parents of young amputee. Please have it in mind and be prepared, and please prepare your child to, after amputation, that's not the end. You'll have to go for other surgeries just because the bones are piercing out of the skin and it's not very comfortable. It's not comfortable at all. At all. And also, please, you'll have to change prostheses every now and then because your child's growing, and well, naturally he or she needs another prosthesis. Also, there's no need to hide your child like a stolen good. There's no need to be ashamed or hide your child at all. Like, he or she is a survivor. Like, you should be proud of that child. You should be proud. Yes, there's nothing to be ashamed about, please. Don't mind the society. So I moved from prosthesis to prosthesis, and whenever I was a child, so whenever I grow taller, they had to change my prosthesis because automatically my prosthesis will get shorter. So it's either I get a new one entirely, or they make adjustments and try to increase the height of the old one, which looks very awkward after everything. Anyways, but well, that was what my parents could afford at the time. That's what they could afford, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for everything they did for me. I changed my prosthesis throughout my life until when I stopped growing. I'm not so tall, by the way. So when I stopped growing, I stopped changing prosthesis because they got shorter. Now I'm changing prosthesis because it has worn out. I've used it for so long, it has worn out. Yes. Now that is my story. By the way, shout out to Mr. Sarobo. Mr. Sarobo was my first prosthetist, and shout out to Mr. Mayo Adegbola. Mr. Mayo Adegbola is my current prosthetist. He works in Ipobi Hospital in Lagos. So thank you so much. You guys give me a chance to thrive and not just survive. You give me a chance to thrive, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, at the end of the day, do I miss my leg? Like, do I miss having both legs? I don't. And that is because I never really get to know what having both legs feel like. I've always known prosthesis. Like, I've always been with prosthesis. So I was so young when I had the accident, so I never really fully understand what having two legs feels like. But I do wonder sometimes. Yeah, I do wonder what it would feel like having both legs. But I may look and sound positive now, but I've been a mess at some point. And no matter how bad you feel now, you get to where I am eventually. That sounds cheesy, but that's the truth. You eventually accept yourself and you'll be good. The moment you start accepting yourself, oh, hallelujah. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really, really, really appreciate your time. Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe, like my channel. Please subscribe, like my video, and please share among your friends, and most especially anyone you feel would really benefit from these videos. Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye bye.